Oh, how's everybody doing tonight, man? On a freaking uh Saturday, man. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Today ended up being better than I thought. Um, but at the same time, what was supposed to be the most simplest thing was kind of weird, the wrestling stuff. But let's talk. How should we start this puppy up? Let's okay, let's get some there's some baseball news we can get out of the way real quick. Um Kenley Jansen went to Detroit Tigers. He's been a closer for a lot of years, formerly known most um, with the freaking Dodgers, but he's been on a few teams. I think the Red Sox and some other teams. I think the Braves. But now he's on the with the Tigers. We'll see how that goes. Kenley Jansen goes to the Tigers, and then excuse me, Dustin May, another former Dodger, he goes to the St. Louis Cardinals. So starting pitcher Dustin May goes to the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, I think that's about it with the baseball news. Um, let's talk. Let's see here. Baseball. No, excuse me, basketball, man. The freaking games, man. They were much better than I thought they were gonna be, man. No Pinocchio. This was actually much better than I was. It was competitive, 132, 120. The Magic competed for about 3 quarters. Then the Knicks kind of took over in the final quarter, and they won the game. But it was a fun game, low key, man. Carl Towns 29 points. OG Anaboyo 24 points. Bronson 41 points. Mikal Bridges 16 points. It was a fun game, low key, man. It was a fun game. Like I said, the Celtics players showed up tonight. Excuse me, the Knicks players showed up tonight. Like I said, Anaboyo with 24, Bronson with 41, and then Carl Towns with 29. Those guys were fantastic tonight. And then freaking for the Magic, Paolo Banchero 25 points, Dasmian Bain 18 points, Jalen Suggs 25 points, Wendell Carter 14 points. It was low-key a fun game, man. They didn't have Wagner, he's hurt, but still, it was a fun game, low-key. At least the first 3 quarters, I have to say, man. Banchero did his thing, and like I said, Wendell Carter kind of did his thing. Desmond Bain and Jalen Suggs, despite not having Wagner, they kind of did whatever they could. The next game was also very fun. What an upset, man. San Antonio with the upset 111-109 versus the Thunder. Thunder enter this game 24-1 on the season. Holy frijoles. They were the clear favorites to win this tournament. And the San Antonio said, Holy frijoles, man. Fucking Wembanyama, man, 23 points, 9 rebounds. Stefan Castle, 22 points. De'Aaron Fox, 22 points. Devin Vassell, 23 points. But man, I think this team, man, when all three are there, De'Aaron Fox, Wembanyama, Stefan Castle, they got something, man. If they can all stay healthy and play together, low-key, they have something, man. Wembanyama came off the bench, I believe. At first, I'm like, where the fuck is Wembanyama? And I was pissed, but then he came off the bench. He only played 21 minutes, but he was effective, man. But man, what a fun game tonight. San Antonio with the fucking upset, man. San Antonio 18-7. Which I think that's the Knicks are like first place, aren't they? And with that record, and here are the Spurs. And let's see here. Chet Holmgren 17 points, Jalen Williams 17 points, Isaiah Heinstein 10 points, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander 29 points. But that was sort of, yeah. If you look at what happened with the Thunder, the supporting cast did not play that good tonight. Shea Gilgeous did play good. He had 29. But like I said, Jalen Williams, 17. You can do better than that. Same thing with Chet Holmgren, could do a little. I think that was the difference. I thought that San Antonio supporting cast was better. even like I said, I think at least by a little bit, De'Aaron Fox and Stefan Castle were better than Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren tonight. I thought that was the main difference. I thought that they outplayed the second and third best player in San Antonio outplayed the second and third best player in Oklahoma, and I thought that was the difference here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And fucking San Antonio with the upset. And now we are looking at a championship of we are looking at a championship of San Antonio versus New York on Tuesday, man. Holy free holies. This tournament actually ended up being good, man. Today was actually a fun sports day, man. It really was. For what we thought we were gonna get, it was. I had fun today. Even the fucking let's get into the NFL. And then the college game we had today. The NFL, I think. No, so NFL, you got injuries, we're not gonna get into that. We got injuries. But college, man, I thought that game was really fun tonight. Congratulations, by the way, to Fernando Mendoza on winning the Heisman Trophy. Congratulations to him. But that game tonight was kind of fun tonight, I thought, between Army and Navy. I thought Army was going to run them out of the field. I thought they were the much better team. But, man, Army gave them a run for their money. I think at one point it was like 16-7 Army. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then Navy came back at the end and won the game 17-16. But that was actually a fun game to watch tonight. I thought both the basketball games, especially the San Antonio Oklahoma game and then the Army Navy game, both of those games mainly, especially overachieved tonight, man. What a fun day it was to watch the teams play tonight. And then let's get to the wrestling. Obviously, John Cena retirement match. You thought this was going to be very simple. Have him have a good match. Have him win Super Cena style. Beat up the whole match, and then at the end find a way to win. Instead, they decided to go with for the first time in 23 years, John Cena taps out. It was kind of weird because, as the ref, how the referee raises your when he feels you're out cold, he has to raise your hand 3 times. If by the third time you don't keep your hand up, it's finished. So instead, that would have been probably better. But they ended up going with the first time, no. Second time, no. Third time, he goes like this, I'm still alive. And then a few minutes after that, I think Gunther hits him with a few elbows, and then he puts it back in. And then Cena smiles, and then he taps. And then everybody's pissed off at Triple H. Everybody's booing Triple H. Everybody came out. Triple H, Stephanie, Bruce Pritchard, Nick Khan, they all came out, and all the wrestlers came out. Kevin Owens was there, Sami Zayn, Undertaker, Michelle McCool, Trish Stratus, a bunch of RVD, Booker T. They were all there. Obviously, a bunch of the Karen guys were there. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes both hanged them their the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. They put on their shoulders, and then he hugs Triple H, and Cena says something to him, and Triple H laughs. I feel like he could have told him, man, they think this was your decision. They're booing the shit out of you, man. And he just, I don't know, man. Cena didn't really seem mad. But you know how Cena is. He's way too classy, right? He's really never told us how he really feels about anything. It's really hard to get anything out of him when they interview him. So I don't know, man. I mean, it could have been Cena like because he said in one of the interviews he did, I think it was with McAfee, he said, I want the fans to find some closure and let her all out this Saturday. It's gonna be my final match. It's not a storyline. This is it. I want people to let go, just like I plan to this Saturday. And so maybe that was the way of telling the fans it's over, because that was his whole motto the whole 23 years. Never give up. He had never tapped out in his life. And maybe this is the way I can tell the fans it's finished. This was my whole motto, never tap out. And fucking tapped. And he smiled as he's tapping. I don't know, man. And then he, like I said, it looks like he tells something when he hugs Triple H, and Triple H, he's laughing. I don't know. Now, he keeps every time they ask him about booking decisions, he says, "I'm only doing what I'm told." That's what he always says. So basically, he tells us that Triple H. He said I think one times Triple H was gonna have him do a whole tribute show and then just have that one match between John Cena and Gunther, and instead he called him. He said, "No, I think we should have other matches. How about NXT guys versus main roster guys?" That was one of the only few times he kind of overruled Triple H. But other than that, the belief is anything that Triple H wanted him to do, he did. He even kind of I think Triple H said that John Cena was the one that wanted to wrestle Brock Lesnar, and then a few days later, John Cena said, "No, it was Triple H, the one that." So even right, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens the next time they interview John Cena, and how they're gonna ask him who was the plan of the finish, and the whole time he's been saying, "I'm only doing what I'm told." Him is he gonna say it again and say it was Triple H, or he's gonna say, "No, it was me. I was." So it's gonna be interesting to see. I cannot wait until that next John Cena interview. What is he going to say? Is he going to say that it was his idea to tap out, or if it was Triple H idea? It's going to be very interesting. They were booting the shit at Triple H all over social media. They're pissed off at him. Triple H came out to do an interview with commentators, and they were flicking him off. And Triple H said, "Oh, they're members of the Bloodline." And then the fans, I think, started yelling at him like "F you, Triple H" or something. And he's like, "I thought it would be a little bit louder." I don't know, man. Now, I don't think they're gonna do it, right? But this would be probably the best time to bring in a Triple H heel executive character. This would be the best time to do it, even if it's not planned. If you're looking at the reaction he's getting, everybody hates Triple H right now. Everybody hates him. Some people are even wanting Vince McMahon to come back. I think they were even changing McMahon's name as they were finishing the show on the what do you call it, the post show, whatever the fuck it's called. This would be the perfect time to have a Triple H heel executive role. Like having, I think sometimes, it can get a little bit stale with Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. This might, I feel sorry. Well, I don't know. This would be I would feel bad for them, but I think they do stuff behind the scenes. They could still, but they probably could still work at WWE. I think the whole general manager and SmackDown general manager for Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, it's an extra. I think they help out with creative stuff, so I think they would be fine. If you pull the trigger on this and you have Triple H be the Vince McMahon 2.0, this is the perfect time to do it. This would be the perfect time for Triple H to have a boss heel persona. It would be the perfect time to do it, honestly. But I don't know. He the 3 years he's been running the main roster, he's never really seemed to be interested. And the only time he seems to be interested is when there's like a new championship being presented, and right, he gets in the ring and he gives the new championship to the winner, right? When they crown the new WWE and the new World Heavyweight Champion, and then same thing for the woman. And then I think when they do the Saudi Arabia Championships. But other than that, he really doesn't like to be on TV. But this would be the best time to do it. The guy obviously knows how to be a heel. And one of the best eras of WWE, the Attitude Era, he was a top heel. So he would have no problem being a heel. This would be the best time to do it. It could boost SmackDown. SmackDown needs a boost. Raw, I mean, Raw's fine, but SmackDown could really use a heel Triple H run, even if it's just an executive. But I don't know. That's just something that came to mind, right? If reportedly they're trying to figure out ways to get better views on SmackDown. They're barely averaging 1 million views. Everybody hates them right now. You might as well capitalize on it and have Triple H become a heel executive on a TV, obviously. But I don't know. We'll see. But if that has ever come up as a thought by Triple H or anybody on the creative team, this would be the time to pull the trigger and have Triple H be a heel character. I would do it. Vince McMahon did it for years. Many people say Vince McMahon is going to go down as the greatest heel of all time. And honestly, you talk to most people, that watch the Attitude Era, and they say Triple H is like Stephanie McMahon might be fucking related to the and married to the two of the toppest 5-10 heels of all time, and her father and her husband. So we'll see. Something to keep an eye on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna call it a night. I will be back tomorrow for NFL. What a fun night it ended up being. The games were much better than I thought. Both the basketball games, the football game. It ended up being a much better night than I thought. I low-key had fun tonight on a fucking Saturday. I really did. I thought I was gonna feel like a fucking virgin tonight and a loser and like have no life. But I felt it was a fantastic. It was a fantastic night, man. It really was. What a fun night of sports, wrestling, spending time with the family. But anyways, guys, I'm out like a light. Have a good night, everybody. But yeah, they should maybe pull the trigger on Triple H being a heel run.